This is Big Papa Shim for another episode of the Healing, Joy, and Hope podcast. This is the startup of season 2. Today, I have an amazing dude with me. He goes by many, many names. His name is Nathaniel. His name is Nati. His stage name is Justan Âme, which I learned recently is a play on words for just a name. He's an awesome dude. We know each other from the music world, dancing, having fun. And he's a great musician. He's got great music out. So I'm going to open it up for him to tell us who he is, what he does. Maybe there's some new projects coming out he wants us to know about. So let us know, brother.
Yes, good to be here. Thanks for inviting me over.
Pleasure. So tell us, what do you do, Mr. Nathaniel?
What I
Nati,
do?
Justan?
Yeah, right. I make music basically. I'm a music creator. Um, been I've been writing music my whole life, whether I wanted to or not. Um, and I've been doing music in different ways since I'm 9 years old, basically.
Wow.
Used to play guitar. I started off as a guitar player for many years. I then became an oud player. Um,
Oud, wow.
yeah, when I was 20, I picked up the oud and I went into that. Then I went into composition, music composition, studied composition, um, played a lot of shows with people. Yeah, played with a lot of the people that are, you know, famous people here in Israel as a oud player and a guitar player. Um, and then decided to take off on my own career as a creator to give that the stage basically. And I've been doing that for the past 3 4 years now, and it's been quite the spiritual journey and quite the healing journey. um, and it's been very difficult and very rewarding and very triggering and challenging in many ways. um, and I'm doing it kind of maybe even I want to say maybe bravely also because it's you need some bravery for that, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Courage. And
Courage.
actually, the song we're gonna listen to later is gonna open us up in a conversation. I was gonna ask you about that stuff. I'm also a musician and creative myself, and yeah, it can be a challenge, whether it comes to the self confidence or whether it comes to the finances or whether it comes to so many other aspects, and we'll get into that a little bit later if that's cool.
I'd love to, yeah. It's
I
a
want to
very
tell
interesting topic.
everyone, yeah, I want to tell everyone that one of my favorite pieces that you did, you have an amazing music video. First of all, the song is so cool. And the video is Mr. Justin here, like as a mermaid. And it's it's so good. It's so good. I like it, like warmed my heart, and it had like a humor element to it as well. Like it was just such good stuff. And eventually when this comes out, we'll put out links to your stuff as well so people could see.
Thanks.
Yeah, dude. Okay, so we're about to get into our meditation segment portion of today's podcast. And I want everyone to know today is actually the day before Passover 2025. And Passover is basically the Jewish holiday with the theme of freedom, like the leaving slavery and freedom. So I'm thinking of getting into a meditation that has to do with freedom. The Seder?
That sounds really good. I actually got my first tattoo um, 6 months ago
Oh, wow.
on the equinox on the autumn equinox, and I don't know if you can see it, but it's a bird, and it means freedom, and it's
What
here
kind
because
of bird? What kind of bird is it?
it represents an eagle, but
Mm-hmm.
it's a representation of a bed. It's not really, you can't really see it. It's a bed, but
Mm-hmm.
anyway, I see it when I play the guitar, you know, and it's really nice to see and to remember that my maybe my dedication, um, or like my commitment to freedom through my expression.
Amazing. Amazing.
So
I'm
yeah,
excited. I'm excited. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. Do you have any experience with meditation, Mr.
I
Justin?
actually am not a big meditation fan. Never been.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think that's why it might be good for me to be on this meditation with you. I've always had my, I was like reluctant to, you know, to get into. Yeah, I'm more of a. If I need to meditate, I'll play a scale back and forth very slowly on a piano or a guitar or something, which will get me into this meditative zone, you know. And I think it's really good to come out of your patterns and do something else that you know you don't normally do. So I'm really happy to go on this meditation with you.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, yeah. I totally understand. Like, there's certain things in life that we kind of like. Everyone tells us how the benefits and how great it. Just sit down and write about your feelings. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that, and then you push it off for another 3 years. So it's like, yeah, it could be challenging. But okay. So here's what we're gonna do. It starts. Every meditation starts with making sure we're sitting with our back to our chair, with our legs on the ground. We want to be. I every single time I explain this because it's important. We want to be um, in a mixture, in a balance of our body being structured and secure, but not like tight and tense. So we're not like laying on the floor, just like, water. So have structure, which inspires through our posture of our body already a certain level of confidence and security and stability, but calmness. Okay, so we're going to close our eyes. We can lay our hands and our arms on our thighs, on our legs, our neck, our heads are straight. How do you feel, brother?
Wow, amazing.
Did you
So good.
feel? I'm grateful.
Thank you. Thank you for this.
Pleasure, pleasure. And did you feel like you were able to let go and be in it?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think I was actually just before our meeting, I did my vocal training
Mm,
session, which is about 45 minutes, and that really helps me with letting go of thoughts and ideas and connecting to my body and controlling all my systems. Um, so I've already a little bit ready for that, you know. Something in me
wow.
is already a bit more relaxed, and this I was really able to take in your meditation and be in it fully.
Wow.
So it's great.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we'll get into this in depth, but and maybe you could tell us a little bit about it afterwards about vocal. Like I know that a lot of issues with singing or the ability to project it has to do with tension that we put like in our vocals. And sometimes we'll go to like retreats or like where they'll just tell everyone to just start like growling and screaming and to like release um,
Mm.
tension that we like put over here. I think it's a deep thing because I see our voice, my throat, my voice as that's our as a human. That's like our way of expressing ourselves. More than animals. Like we have the ability to speak, and to in our own unique voice. And when we hold it back, it's like yeah. I don't know if that's. Do you relate to that?
I feel like singing is a well, it's like a window to your soul. Um, Especially if it's singing. Like speaking is our way to express and communicate. But when we start singing, then we we communicate on an emotional level, and then if you have anything going on in your emotional body, it's going to affect your physical body, and the voice is deeply affected by that, and we are very sensitive to all these nuances in someone's voice. We know how to detect whether it's fear or pain or whatever, any sorts of feelings that are there. And I think that today, for a while now, a big theme that is going on is lack of presence. For which you just did this meditation because you I'm guessing you didn't feel present at some point, and using the voice and using our all our vocal mechanism um, really requires us to be in touch with our instrument, with our body, which is our instrument.
Wow.
And so any sort of for me, I've been dealing with insecurity, for example, and when you're feeling insecure, then you have all these thoughts about, am I good or am I not? How are people going to be judging me? Do they think that I'm good? Maybe they think I'm not good. You have all these, almost like intrusive thoughts come in, like, I'm not good at this. I am good at this. I'm not good. This is, and then the voice really reacts to it, when someone is singing and they're not present. First of all, they're not present with themselves, so they're not really capable of properly operating their mechanism, you know. And then as the audience, you feel like they are not present with you either. You feel like they're somewhere in their own world, but also the voice, like the actual physical, like the vocal cords and the vocal tract, and that there's so many muscles and so many parts that have to do with voice, right?
Yeah.
The mouth, these muscles here that open the jaw,
Yeah.
um, the lips, the tongue, you know, the lungs that push air out. It's like there's so many. Like when you sing,
It's actually a
your whole
full
body
body
sings.
thing. Yeah.
Exactly, your whole body
Yeah.
sings.
Because the strength, a lot of people don't know this, the strength actually for the lungs to here, it actually goes to the what's it called? The agan, like
The waist,
yeah, the pelvic
pelvic
floor.
floor. Yeah.
The strength really comes from there, which has to come from strength of your legs as well. So it's like your whole body. And your back. Oh my God.
Right, your lungs are in your back as well. And when you
Wow.
breathe, you take in air. It's a 360 experience of breathing in, breathing out, letting air in, letting air out.
Wow.
And yeah, I feel like the emotional work that I do and the physical work that I do, they go hand in hand, and they help each other and they react to each other. It's all interconnected and it's inseparable.
Wow. This is so cool. Like, because the song that I picked, I like picked it specifically for this, like what we're talking about.
Mm.
So, everyone, we're going to listen to a song today by a really cool band called the Avett Brothers. This song is called Ain't No Man. Um, and you'll see what it's about. It's a pretty nice, kind of good feely, poppy song. Um,
From 2016.
yeah, it's from a long time ago, yeah, which is cool. And so we're gonna listen to it. We're gonna get into the music side, and then we're gonna jump off into some good convos. One, two, three, go, dude!
Nice one.
What a song, right?
Yeah. So it's like
Like,
an anthem. It's like an anthem of like a feel good anthem.
yeah, it's. Do you notice how minimalist it is? Like,
Yeah.
first of all, that guitar line, it sounds to me like a bass guitar.
Yeah, it is a bass.
So the whole entire song is basically a bass guitar, maybe like one drum and like a clapping soundtrack.
Yeah, this clap sample that keeps coming back. It's like same, like it's not even a very high quality one with like a short reverb. I feel like
Nachon,
it's one of those samples that you get in a sample pack, and it's not
it's
one of the
not
best
such a good
ones,
quality, right? Yeah, it
and it's
doesn't
like it
sound.
has
Yeah,
its own reverb that came with the sample. Um,
Like it
Yeah, that
sounds unreal. It doesn't sound like real clapping. Like they weren't trying to make it sound real.
no, they put on this sample that is throughout the song. Yeah, the bass guitar. It's like it's proper rock and roll, isn't it? Like this just this like plucked bass guitar. It might have like a doubling of like another electric guitar on top of it. It might be doubled. I'm not really sure.
I wasn't sure. Yeah, it might be.
It's different, it's when you listen to a song, when you produce music and make music, and when you just a human listening to music, or like from whatever perspective you are in the world of music, whatever your position is, whether you're a performer, a guitar player, a piano player, a music producer, a composer, a mix engineer, you listen to different things, but you can also just turn it off and experience
The song.
just experience the song as just a normal human, or
Yeah.
just like for me, like the new thing in the past few years, or maybe the past 10 years, is probably listening to the lyrics and trying to get the lyrics, because I never used to listen to song lyrics, not in Hebrew, not in English, doesn't matter what language. For me, like the vocalist singing is just another type of guitar instrument thing that is going on. It's like it's all
Mm.
music. You
Mm.
know. So listening to lyrics has me turning off other parts. So I was like actually more listening to the lyrics now, um,
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
everything.
Once Spotify, like a few years back, added like the lyrics, that was changed everything for me too. Because I could just yeah. Anyways, yeah, yeah. It's great. It's great to know the lyrics too. This song is just it's amazing how something so minimalist could have so much like power to it. Like it's very like you called it an anthem. Like it's boom boom. It's almost like the Queen, like "We Will Rock
And I
You."
think
Like
the strong part of the song is the lyrics, especially of the chorus. This is what like
there ain't no man can change me.
yeah, this is super
Yeah.
super powerful, and it's like has a lot of energy, like a lot of emotional energy, like spiritual energy that takes you forward, and then you don't really care about the sound so much. It's like a very gritty, like everything is super super gritty. You don't really care about it because this anthem, this chorus takes you. It's just like, all right, let's go. We don't care about what all the rest. All the rest is just like whatever. It's like
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's pretty genius how minimalist they made it because I'm thinking like if I was gonna make a song like that, I would probably I'd probably overdo, want to make it so powerful, put in like 17 tracks or something. And they made it so minimalist and it's so strong. It's like a punch in the face.
they did put some emphasis on the choir aspect of it, like the
Yeah, the
backing
lyrics,
vocals.
yeah. Mhm.
The backing vocals are they worked on it. You could see like there's been some work done. They harmonized it and they thought about the harmonies behind it. Um, they didn't just like put some vocals in together. They did think about what is going on there in terms of harmony, and I think that comes in to strengthen the lyrics and the emphasis
Yeah.
on that, and rather than anything else. Like the rest is just like, let's just make some backing track and
Though I think
roll with
that
that.
bass line is really powerful.
It is very powerful, but it's also very generic. Like it's like nothing I've not heard before, a few times
Mhm.
already. Do you understand what I mean?
I hear what you're saying, yeah.
But the lyrics are like they really convey the spirit um, of the intention behind the song, and it's like I'm doing my thing, I'm going my own way, and I have all the good reasons to do it. It's just like a lot of reinforcement, and I feel like when you write a song like that, it's like one of those bursts of energy like that you have in life. Sometimes you feel down, you feel up, you feel down, and sometimes when you come out of like a down, like it happens to me a lot when I come out of like a period when I'm feeling lost and whatever. I'm going through a hard time, and I come out of that. There's a lot of like reinforcing sentences that I would use in a song, and the song would help me elevate myself. And
Mm.
and I feel like this song is like a collection of it feels like a collection of things. Like there was this one really nice download that the composer got. Like he got this one sentence, this one anthem, and
There ain't no
maybe I'm
man that could
projecting.
change the shape my soul is in. Oh
Yeah,
wow, like what a line, bro.
yeah, that's like a proper download, right? You get this from the divine, and you're like, okay. And I feel like the rest, like the verses, are more like collections of stuff like, we need to get you through to the next chorus, and here's some
Yeah.
things like, there's like some stuff I understood along the way. They're not really related. There's not really a story
Yeah,
to
it's the
it.
chorus that's the power.
Like a collection of,
Yeah.
here's some more ideas I have about life, and some more things that help
Mm-hmm.
me get through my days, some more things that give me power. Here's some more. I'm giving you some more stuff, like as a
Yeah.
creator.
So let's get into this. Like the message. Like what was the message of the song for you, and like how do you relate to it in your life?
Um, yeah, I feel like it's just believing in your own path. Like there is a lot of, for me, I've been dealing with a lot of self doubt in my path as a creator, as a musician, and I really need exactly this kind of message, saying like this kind of reinforcement that I am I am on the right path. I'm doing the right thing. I'm doing it for all the good reasons. I'm not being selfish for doing it. Um, I'm doing something that makes the world better. Um, and even though it might be difficult, I'm good. I'm doing the right thing. I'm good. The thing is good. It's like, and power. Like, it's like, plow on, do the thing, and do it with
Yeah.
do it with happiness.
Yeah. Yeah, man. To me, like I want to add one piece to that. Like to me, also a big thing of what this song is talking about is like you mentioned it earlier, especially as creative people and artists, and there's there's so much self doubt that can come in, and there's so much self questioning that could come in, and there's a lot of this need to for many of us to have the external validation in order to feel like we're okay. Like,
Yeah.
is the world telling me that I'm actually okay? And to me, the song is saying like, when I'm secure in me and I'm living my life from inside to out and not the opposite, then nobody can change. Doesn't matter what the next guy thinks, says. They click on my video. They don't click on my video. I have a million hits. I'm Mr. Beast or not. You know,
Yeah, that
like
is
no one can change the state my soul is in when I'm secure in me.
exactly. And actually, funny enough, it's also the theme that I'm going through in my life right now as a creator. Like specifically this scene of like putting my art out there and realizing that I am actually dependent on what people have to say about it, on how people react to it, and my mood can shift so quickly if someone says something good about my art or something bad about my art, or like I feel like nobody sees my art, and I am working with my therapist on finding this home inside where I know that
Yeah.
I am good no matter what. Also, like it's cool you brought this song up because of this freedom theme that is going on with Passover and whatever.
Yes. That's
It made
another
me
reason I thought of it. Yeah.
it made me think of the name Daniel, which in Hebrew it means God is my judge. But like it could
Dan.
it
Dan El. Okay.
Dan
Mm-hmm.
Dani, which means yeah, gives me judgment, and then El is God, obviously.
Wow.
And I always thought that name was kind of harsh. Like it sounds beautiful when it rolls in your tongue, but then I always thought it was like harsh because
Judgment.
judgment.
Yeah.
You got judgment in your name. That's pretty harsh. And then I realized that it actually means like God is my judge. I don't care what people say.
Wow.
I don't care. Like I know that it's between me and my gods to judge me, to
Wow.
see that I'm good because I know I'm good. And me and my God,
Yeah.
we have this thing set up together where I know that what I'm doing is good.
Yeah, man. Like over the years, like also a lot of self work, whether it's therapy or spiritual work, and um, I think the biggest thing that allows me to have freedom is when I realize and accept that there are no rules. What do I mean by that? There are no rules. I could say for myself, I lived most of a big portion of my life always like What does the other think? What does the other expect? What's expected of me? How do I fit? Like, what am I supposed to be? Like, always this thing of like, what am I supposed to be? And once I realized, like, there's no rules, there's only two rules, okay? One, don't be a piece of shit to other people, right? Don't hurt others. Two, be true to your own principles and values.
Yeah.
So if I value something, right, and I think it's amazing, that's all that matters, you know. But it's hard, man, you know, as a creative person, because not only, especially if your livelihood is dependent on it, you know, that, but it's also because society is always like telling us like fame, being seen, that's what's important, you know, and it's hard not to get sucked into that, you know.
Yeah, I think we don't really learn about society. We learn math and we learn history and we learn all sorts of things, but we never actually learn anything about society and how to handle it and how to handle relationships. We don't learn about relating. We don't learn all the tools that can really, really help us in life. We don't really learn that in school. We learn things that, we get brainwashed for 12 years and
Or
thrown
more.
thrown around in social circles without having any sort of awareness about how to deal socially. And I think that the social aspect of life is probably the second most important thing after like your health.
Wow.
Like, what does your body feel like, if you're healthy or not, and then your social aspect. And people get really sick when they get lonely and when they get thrown out of societies and expelled. And there's a lot of knowledge to be learned. There's a lot to be learned there, and the people who do know, they get on really well in life. People who do know how to handle socially, how to handle society, how to create the right kind of relationships in their life, the right kind of circles of friends in their life, whether it's in business, whether it's in government. It's all about relating, um,
Hmm.
and it's just a really sad to realize that we nobody really taught us the tools. Some people just for some reason have it, and some people don't. And I wish we could have learned that in school. And honestly, I wish I could learn it now. I'm learning it now, but I'm learning it as I'm going on. Nobody's teaching me about that anyway. I'm teaching myself from what I'm learning from my friends, from healing traumas that I have around social issues. So I'm learning as I'm going along.
So
Yeah,
what? So let's shift for a moment our conversation with what we're talking about, but
sure.
towards like solution. Like, what are tools that help both of us that we can share here? That someone who's watching or listening at some point, maybe it could help them. Like, what are some tools that help you to get out of your own head, to be present, to come from a place of this is me. I'm confident with who I am. I could bring it and not being, let's say, codependent all the time to like what everyone wants from me or thinks of me. Like what tools help you, especially when you're performing, for example.
Right. I think when it comes to music, I think it's really knowing your value in a neutral way. So when you are when you're trying to deal with a deep insecurity, then one of the things that you might do is you might abandon the part of you that is criticizing you. So you have like an internal struggle between a part that is very insecure and a part that is very criticizing. And then what really happens is, like, what helps me is to first of all understand this mechanism and understand what these two parts of me are trying to tell me. One is saying, I'm not good enough. The other one is saying, I am too good.
Ah,
And the idea is to try and actually be present, and that is where presence come into hand. Like, okay, Mr. Criticism, um, why am I not good enough? Let's look into it. Let's have a chat. Let's talk face to face, because it scares me so
mm,
much to hear what you say that I just want to run away.
yes.
So let's have a chat. What is it about? Is it about something technical? Can I do something about it? And then keep that, and then maybe I'll be like, you know, that is within my boundary, and there's something that you say that is not within my boundary. Okay. So just have this conversation with this part of myself. It's like, yeah, can you practice? You have a show in 3 days. And the criticizing part of me is like, you're not good enough. You can't play this show. I'm like, okay, what what can I do to play this show better? He's like, you need to practice 7 hours a day. I'm like, okay, that's crazy. I can't do that. But I can practice for 2 hours every day, right? How about that? And then that keeps something going, because I can't live without this part. And what happens when I do? So when
Interesting.
I push my criticizing part away, then I only give place for my insecure part, and then I ignore that. So I ignore this, all the gifts that I have to receive from that part, and they can't really work without each other. They're always going to be a part of me. So
Mm,
if I push it away, then I will not play my show very well. You know, if I completely push the criticizing part away, I will not.
mm.
I'll be like, no, I'm good. I'm good. I don't need to practice at all, man. I'm good as I am. It's just good, you know. And it's like finding this balance
The balance.
with the power of being present and dialogue
So this is what you're talking about is are
boundaries.
like deep tools from therapy, right? There's something called IFS, internal family systems, which is like very big on what you were talking about, like being able to understand that like these voices in us are like different parts of us, and to like include them in the conversation and to be with them, and to, you're saying, instead of trying to just run away from it or like um, drown in it, it's like, okay, let's all have a conversation. Let's figure out what's like a healthy balance.
Yeah,
That's super cool.
I think
And
there is a lot of dissociation. Like, it's very trending to dissociate. You know, whether it's using drugs to dissociate, like ketamine, which is very popular in a lot of circles that I've seen, you know, recently in all sorts of communities. And just the idea of like scrolling, you know, like, or like you're at your phone and you go into like an app like Tinder or whatever, and it's like next thing, and that is like it's like a dissociation culture that is going on, you know, like next, what's next? I'm scrolling to the next thing. And when it comes to our soul and our internal structure, dissociating is very unhealthy, and it can be, sometimes it can be used as a coping mechanism. Some things we can't deal with at the moment, and we need to dissociate,
right.
and that mechanism has its place in certain moments and certain times. But when it's out of control and you constantly dissociate from yourself, you know, you just get lost. You need to be in touch with your your emotions, your parts, the reason why you feel anxiety. There is a reason for that, and there is a voice inside you that you basically abandon. We basically abandon ourselves. We abandon parts in ourselves,
Wow.
that we need, parts that are vital. We demonize them. We you could The classic one for me is demonizing the criticizer, the criticizing part. I make him into like, no, you're terrible. Don't talk to me. You and your criticism, you know. But actually, what makes me an amazing musician is that exact thing. Like,
Because the critical side, I love everything you're saying. Like, you're explaining how every part of who we are has its purpose. But sometimes they get out of control, so we got to put them back in place a little bit, you know? And the critical part of us has its place, right? Because how do we improve? How do we, you know, like you said, with the song, that they really thought through the vocals, right? If we didn't have that critical part of us, then whatever, you just throw a few tracks down and then everything is just half-assed, you know? So that critical side of us pushes us to like perfect things.
Right,
But
but
when
also
it becomes the dominant voice of, and it's negative, and it's not actually allowing us to see the good parts, or allow us to, or it's at a point of like perfectionism where it's not realistic, and then it pushes us to be like, oh well, I'll never be perfect anyway, so I might as well just give up. That's when it's like out of whack, you know.
what you just said, that sentence is a is kind of a classic approach when the criticizing part is being ignored. That sentence is, if you have like a criticizing part, which is, let's use spiritual terms for a second, masculine, and then you
Okay.
have like a more artistic part, which is the feminine, if we talk
Okay.
in spiritual
Okay.
terms. Then what
hmm
you just said is the feminine abandoning the masculine,
Interesting.
basically, because it's like, you're too much. Like, I'll never finish the song. I'll never be good. I'll never be good enough for you. That is an abandonment sentence, basically. That is a sentence that is like canceling. I'm canceling you out because it's too difficult for me to be in the standards, so I have to abandon you now in order to
Wow.
live. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing to do. I'm just saying it's something that happens sometimes, and sometimes you do have to walk away. It's just sometimes you do have to be like, and I like to see it more like as a kindergarten. Like, I'm a headmaster at the kindergarten, and there are all these children, and this one child is getting out of hand. So what are you going to do? I mean, you have to deal with it. He's wreaking havoc.
He's
How
he's
are you?
he's messing things up for everyone else.
Yeah. So, and he's getting too much. He's getting too much
Attention.
stage time. Too much stage time, right?
Yeah, I like that. I never heard of it like
Too
that.
much
That's so
airtime.
cool.
This child is getting too much airtime. What do you do? Like, how would you handle
Wow.
it? Would you would you put him in detention and lock the door and be like, until you learn to behave, or are you going to give him a big hug? Are you going to have a chat with him?
Mm.
And
So you're parenting yourself.
I have to parent myself because my parents couldn't parent me. My parents divorced when I was 5 years old.
Wow.
They didn't manage. They never managed to to actually do this thing of coexisting.
Co-parenting, yeah.
Yeah, and they left me with these things that don't really get along with each other.
Well, it's interesting that you spoke about like the divine masculine and divine feminine, and now you're talking about that because, like, yeah, like how do those parts of us get along, you know?
Yeah, and it just
And
goes to
who were our
show.
role models, you know?
It goes to show how far it goes to have a good parents and a good house and a healthy upbringing. And when you don't have that, which is most people don't have that. I would
Yeah,
say grand majority of people don't have that.
yeah,
Maybe probably in the Western world. I'm not sure about the like the more um, less developed countries. It's different because they did
I
keep
don't know.
they did hold on to like a lot of very healthy family values, actually. But in the Western world, I think most people don't have healthy parenting and um, upbringing, and it causes a lot of issues for them.
Yeah. So we're gonna finish up soon. So let's do a little summary and then we can give our last words. So like
Sure.
today, season 2, episode 1, the Healing Joy and Hope podcast with Mr. Justan Âme, a super brother, an awesome dude. We got into a little bit about what we do. We got into a beautiful meditation pre-Passover, about freedom, about thinking about those areas in our life that maybe we're too hard on ourselves about, or maybe we're just not succeeding enough, and how to release that and be
The best
approach it from a
version.
place of freedom. You know,
Mm, mm.
we got into an amazing song from the Abbott Brothers called "Ain't No Man," which the message we spoke about from this song is basically, if I'm secure in me, I know my value and worth. I look towards my own values in order to judge if I'm doing okay or not, and not always looking to the outside. Then the way that the other will affect me will be much, much less, if at all. And we jumped off into a nice conversation about, especially as people who are creative, and so much of what we do is, based on the other, and people's opinion of us and our art and all this stuff. How do we balance all of those elements of us, those insecurities, those neediness, the codependency? How do we balance that stuff and come out like with confidence, and come out with bringing it, you know? And Justin here really shared a lot of tools from therapy that I guess you've learned and have learned to bring into your own life, which is, instead of pushing away the undesirable voices in us, it's looking at it as, okay, you are all a part of me. These are the different parts of me. How can I integrate us all together where we all get a healthy amount of airtime, as you said, and we're not hurting each other, but we're listening to each other.
I'd like to say that it is working on bridging these parts, these sides, and creating peace inside of me, which is something that I wish we would all do here to begin with. I think that like peace is a theme that we need to put some work into. You know, a lot of people use peace as like, we want peace, yeah, peace in the Middle East, but they don't understand that peace is work. It's going to be work, and now it's going to be even so much more work without really getting into the conflict thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just like
Let's not get
I
into it.
am working in making peace, and maybe my own little prayer for this holiday and for that I want to put in this podcast is that we would all have the energy to work together in making peace, whether it's inside of us and whether it's outside of us.
Wow, that's beautiful and that's awesome. And I'll add a little thought to that, which is that you said a prayer. Like, I truly believe that I believe that every person, doesn't matter who you are, where you are, can inspire and can be a channel for energy and into this world. So I truly believe that when each of us, like, if like you said, if I work on peace inside of me, then that brings peace, a little bit more peace. And if every single one of us would actually focus on fixing ourselves, then things would be okay, Yeah. Not to get into politics and all that shit, but yeah,
Yep,
yeah, man.
absolutely, absolutely.
Amazing. Thank you so much, brother.
Thank you for making this podcast and for inviting me.